Once things started getting pretty bad within China, Italy, and Iran, many 3D printers in those countries began to look for a way to help. And there was a lot of open source modeling and communication with the international community of 3D printers. I just wanted to follow their lead, and because there was no one else in the DC area doing this, finding a way in order to provide healthcare professionals with the gear that they need. Since March, I've been organizing the 3D printing of face shields and other medical devices for medical professionals in the DC area. So we have 2 boxes of PLA, 2.85, 3.0, whatever you want to call it, filament. Would you be willing to print with that? WereTech is a community of 3D printers and drivers and other volunteers across the DC area, printing models which we've worked hard to adapt in order to the healthcare setting in which they are used. And we have a team of about over 100 printers registered. Of those combined, they have nearly 140 3D printers themselves, and they use those printers in order to print some models that we have sent them over, which act as face shields for these medical professionals.
It'll take 3 hours. Let's do a short one. Let's take this one. Sitting at home, we were thinking of ways in my group that we could contribute to this frontline effort. Very concerned about all the shortages of medical PPE we were hearing about on the news. I found out later a high school student was actually organizing 3D printers to produce these parts. These are one type of part that we're printing in Print to Protect. This is the plastic headband that is accompanied by a face shield. When used in combination with a surgical mask or face mask, this will provide the CDC level recommended protection for the healthcare workers. And I basically came in and lended a lot of my expertise from the laboratory work, helped to establish, for example, a fundraising campaign, website, and a lot of the processes such as disinfection and assembly that we use to get these out to the healthcare workers. And sprayed the lid off and sprayed the inside. I'll show you on the next tub.
We've been able to accumulate volunteers and build up a team consisting of not only high schoolers, but about half high schoolers and half adults with day jobs. And we've been working hard in order to expand that team and get volunteer drivers, assemblers, researchers for disinfecting, and everything that needs to be done for Print to Protect to run smoothly. We've had about 240 or so, 250 people volunteer for the organization. And so in all, we're distributed and donated likely a little bit over 8,000 parts as of today. That number increases by around 1,500 a week.
Make sure my hands are clean before I touch anything. I guess you can spray off this nozzle too.
So there's a lot to it, but even with that, there is still an inherent risk. At the end of the day, community organizers should not be the one doing the manufacturing of essential medical equipment. I hope that people are able to see that while the suffering is more widespread during this pandemic, the suffering was always there. And that type of good spirits hopefully continue beyond the last case of coronavirus.